You know, I've been thinking in that when we talk about success, I mean, we could talk about success in a matter of the ladder that we climb up to get to the places that we always envisioned or planned, whether it was a graduation plan or occupational expectation of where you're supposed to be. People characterize success in many different ways. I mean, accomplishments, I mean, goal achieving, it's different things. I mean, I'm trying to expound on the issue of when you have a personal expectation of where your success margin ends or where you could say, I made it. I think the duration of the time that you're trying to get to that place is what will evaluate your success. So being that in your journey to be most successful and most content in a certain status or level of achievement as an individual, there's a tremendous amount of things that try to stop you from getting to that point. And I think how you deal with these things every day determines the outcomes of your successful position in life. I mean, down to people and events are two major factors that contribute to the make you or break you status. You know, I mean, depending on the world that you exist in, as far as the peer culture or social system that you are currently in, really could have a tremendous effect on the outcome of your everyday wishes and goals. I mean, people are distractive. I mean, emotions are distractive, and just things not happening in accordance to how you plan them is a distraction. So if you don't have the ability to adapt and rethink and recalculate certain pre-thought steps that you thought were going to play out at that moment or that day, if you don't have the skill to recalculate constantly, you will suffer dramatically and be set back to a point that you may never achieve that special place that you're trying to get to. I mean, because I even think if you could be a mediocre individual making an average monthly income and you come in contact with more money, that doesn't necessarily mean that you become successful. I mean, me personally, I feel that success is based off of the inner desires of the potential and talent that you have that you're looking to be expressed fully upon this world. And the problem with that is a lot of individuals don't know about their inner potential or their talent, and they don't know how to express their potential and their talent in the world. You know, it's called misskilled. You know, you're misskilled. You have skills, but you're missing out on expressing them in the proper areas of life. You know, some people spend their whole lives trying to figure out what they want to do or what they want to be. Some people suffer from not knowing who the heck they are in general. You know, we're like robots. We wake up, we program ourselves, we eat, work, come back home. It becomes so repetitious and so boring. You know, it's just like an endless cycle. It's like picking up boulders from one side of the yard to the other side of the yard with no outcome. You know, you ain't building a stone wall, you're just moving boulders from one side to the other side. It just becomes repetitious with no foundation and no structure being built. So with that, I mean, when I think about myself and as far as a trainer and having certain expectations to either touch a lot more lives or mobilize a unit or team that can express not only my ideology but my mission to the masses or a bigger population of people outside my, you know, hometown, that is one level of success, you know. And there's many avenues of doing that. I mean, obviously social media is more commercialized, stronger avenue of how to get yourself out there. But there's a twofold to that social media aspect, and that's a whole nother conversation. But being you and using your network and the people around you and your education altogether to help you navigate through everyday life and making conscious choices and decisions that are conducive to your overall plan of getting to where you want to get to, that is success. I mean, when we make it through a day, without having made any major issues, or not getting hurt, or not having tremendous anger problems, or distracted by issues that are out of our control that lead to us getting angry, and how long we decide to hold on to the anger, the negativity factor, how much negativity will consume positive energy space in our brain and override our vision at the moment. Depending on how many times you let that happen to you every day, hypothetically sets back your set goal date or your outcome date. I mean, it's all conducive how you operate every single day. What chances of you reaching the expectations of what you feel inside your own personal mind really comes down to you. I mean, you are supreme controller of your actions and your responses. And that's a hard reality for people to accept, that, unless we're talking about an extreme situation, you're at gunpoint, snatched up somewhere, or at force, at will, and you just have to go with that moment under, duress, which, a small percentage of the population is put in those situations. But the average individual who has the faculties and the mindset to see life for what it is and pursue what they want, the stresses and the struggles that we face every day is people. And not only people, but lack of using the education and knowledge that we have as an individual in dealing with people. How much we let people invade our space, how much we let people belittle us or attack our insecurities or self-esteem issues. It's people. But at the end of the day, it still comes down to you and how you interpret and filter that information, that people either support you or don't support you. The feedback, the criticism, the talk, the engagement of useless conversation. It still comes down to you making a choice and decision whether you want to be a part of that. If you want to work on getting tougher skin and repelling negativity as a whole, and as long as nobody is doing bodily harm to you, words do hurt at the moment. At the end of the day, people say things out of impulse. People say things out of not knowing an individual, and people just say things because they have nothing good to say or don't know what to say, so they want to be heard. So they'd rather hear their voice than not hear nothing at all. So why not just talk about nothing? So when you come to understand people in general as that, I think you'll have the better advantage of being able to navigate through this dense population of low energy, low positive individuals. Sometimes you may think that positivity is overrated. It's forgotten these days because it's such an aggression of the self, and it becomes selfishness that we forget that our actions impact a lot of people around us. And sometimes the things that we do, are not out of haste or die-hard intentions to do wrong to the next person. But I think that today's time, we do lack the consciousness of being conscious of the next person, next man or woman. And we tend not to evaluate the individual's character for what it is, and really give the respect due back to that individual who could be a part of our lives or comes into our lives. I think that people don't pay attention to a lot of people no more at all. I mean, it's all about the commercial status or the image that we put outside ourselves to remain strong in the eyes of a population who really don't give a damn at the end of the day about what you do, what you got, because they're really just concerned about where they're trying to get to. And if anything you have or anything you can, give can contribute to them becoming better, So, I mean, in the avenues of success, I mean, the struggles and trials and tribulations in the trenches is the key to success.